The tragedy of Rick Savage is just so very sad, because behind the roaring stadiums, the glittering lights, and the anthems that defined an era of rock, there lies a story of struggle, resilience, and heartbreak that fans often overlook when they think of Def Leppard's legendary bassist, a man whose name became synonymous with one of the greatest rock bands in history, yet whose personal life carried a weight of pain that success could never truly erase. And when you peel back the layers of fame, fortune, and global acclaim, what you discover is a life marked not only by triumphs on the stage, but also by losses, health battles, and private burdens that few ever knew. Rick Savage, affectionately known as Sav, was one of the founding members of Def Leppard, standing alongside Joe Elliott as a cornerstone of the band's sound from their earliest days in Sheffield, England, and for decades, his driving, bass lines, backing vocals, and quiet charisma helped build a band that would sell over 100 million records and leave an indelible mark on rock history. But as often happens in the world of rock and roll, the glory that fans saw was only part of the story, because behind the music, Savage faced demons that fame could not protect him from. In the late 1980s, Def Leppard became one of the biggest bands on the planet, riding high on the unprecedented success of Pyromania and Hysteria. But it was during this very period that tragedy struck within the group itself, most famously when drummer Rick Allen lost his arm in a horrific car accident. And while the world remembers Allen's resilience, what many forget is that Savage too was struggling, quietly grappling with health issues that would haunt him for years. He was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, a condition that partially paralyzes the face. And though it may not have been as publicly dramatic as Allen's accident, for Savage it was devastating, because it not only affected his confidence as a performer, but also served as a constant reminder of how fragile even the strongest rock gods could be. And while he pushed through, playing bass night after night, smiling through the pain, fans never truly knew the toll it took on him inside. On top of health struggles, Savage's personal life was often marred by the pressures of fame, the temptations of the road, and the sacrifices that come with being in a band that lived at the very edge of excess. During the height of the 1980s rock scene, and while Def Leppard became a household name, those same years took a heavy toll on relationships, family, and friendships, leaving Savage with scars that weren't as visible as those carved into the history of the band, but just as lasting. What makes the tragedy of Rick Savage so very sad is that he, like so many musicians of his era, gave everything to the music and to the fans. And while he found moments of joy in the success, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, and the timeless love of Def Leppard's devoted following, he also endured loneliness, health battles, and the weight of being constantly compared to his younger, more energetic self, even as he aged into the role of a rock elder statesman. Now, when fans look at Savage today, they see a man who still plays with passion, who still takes the stage with pride, but who carries in his eyes and in his quiet demeanor the traces of everything he has endured. And it is a bittersweet reminder that even legends are mortal, even icons bleed, and even rock gods carry private tragedies that no applause can erase. His story is not only about sadness, though it is about resilience, about a man who refused to let health challenges define him, who kept playing, kept smiling, and kept reminding the world that music is bigger than pain. But when you step back and look at the whole picture, you cannot escape the truth that the tragedy of Rick Savage is just so very sad, because it is the story of a man who gave his heart to the world and in return carried a burden that most will never fully understand.